Hello. This is going to be a Wimpy writer's reaction to Devon versus Levan at King of the Table 4. I stumbled upon arm wrestling through Devon, of course, about 4 years ago, and I haven't been able to take my eyes off it since. You wouldn't expect someone like me to get interested in a sport like this. I don't really follow sports much, but I think it was the characters and the personalities that drew me in, which seems to be the case for a lot of people. Devon's story enthralled me, and I just went from there. Anyway, today was pretty horrifying. I started to get a sinking feeling when the first two matches ended by way of injury. And I thought to myself, Levan promised he was going to break Devon's arm, didn't he? Yeah, it was pretty rough to get out of that anxiety loop, but I kept my hopes up, and I thought to myself, that room's really hot, and Levan's really fucking big, so maybe there's a chance. There wasn't. I think the most horrifying part of the match was the expression on Devon's face in round one. Levan flash pinned him, and Devon almost stretched out into a King's move, but couldn't quite get there. And I think it's probably a good thing he didn't, because if he had, and if he'd stayed there for maybe 1 or 2 seconds, that would have been the arm break. I don't know enough about arm wrestling to really state that as a hypothesis, but I just feel like something else other than his bones gave out in that moment, and from there he could just never get to anywhere near that position again, really. The expressions on Devon's face made me think of war, and they made me think of someone I love being beaten up or worse. I shed a few tears, and I felt my heart beating out of my chest, and my left arm went a little bit numb. It was miserable, and I'm sure for me it was not even 1/100th as miserable as it was for Devon. The expressions on Levan's face were horrifying as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, please correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments below, because I'd be curious. But I think Levan made some expressions during today's match that I had not seen on him before either. Well, just one expression really, and it was this. He was ready to slaughter somebody. I mean, that was different. That was different. Really sent a chill down my spine. Like, I've never been so emotionally invested in a sport. And as an anime fan and a fantasy novel fan and movie fan and all this stuff, I don't know if I've gotten as attached to very many characters. Like this is up there for me in terms of emotional investment. Just this whole story arc with Devon Larratt trying to take on the Titans. Like, holy shit. It really deserves an anime adaptation. I'm probably going to write a novel inspired by the last maybe 4 or so years of Devon's life and the journey he's taken. Might even work up the gumption to try and get an interview with him at some point. or just chat with him, because this is some of the best storytelling I've ever seen. Forgive me, there's a large spider. Yeah, Devon is a fantastic storyteller, and I just want to thank you, Devon, for your heroic heart. Really, seriously. You inspire a lot of people, and you lift people out of dark places, just like Michael lifted you out of that dark place. Just incredible stuff. Like, you can't write anything better than that. And Levan, thank you for showing the world what is possible. Holy shit. People don't give Levan enough credit for, like, being what he is. And that's a sacrifice, being what Levan is. Make no mistake. Like, that is a big choice you're making. I could get lost in thought here pretty easily. Thanks to everyone who has ever been involved in arm wrestling, and trying to push this obscure little sport out of the womb and into the light, you know. I hope that King of the Table 4 is the type of event that arm wrestling fans can be proud of and share with their non-arm wrestling fan friends. But I'm not sure this will be the one, because, I mean, like I said, at least 2 matches ended by way of injury. Maybe a third if Devon's bicep got fucked. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Yeah, matches ended by injury aren't always the most exciting, unfortunately, and there was a lot of slow technical stuff going on tonight. But I will say, like, if you want to draw people into this sport, share the Devon-Levan match and just share Devon's story. Like, I would really advise against trying to drown people in the technical jargon of the sport. You really want to draw people in with the stories and characters, because those are what hit the heart of everybody. I mean, they hit mine, and I'm not into sports. I actually made a playlist for my family because I had them watch the event with me today, and I wanted to prime them a little bit. So I had a playlist, which I managed to narrow down to about 3 hours. There's so much on YouTube, you can just keep going. And that playlist kind of took us through Devon's journey of the past 4 years or so. Kind of the story arc that I would be covering if I ever wrote a novel or tried to write a screenplay about something like this. And my mom, at least, loved it, super invested, and was terrified when the event started today. Unfortunately, she couldn't stick around for Devon versus Levan, but I'm gonna show her later. Hope you're okay, Devon. And seriously, like, you fucking rock, man. Like, you're the coolest dude on the planet. Like, good fucking job just being who you are. And Levan, thank you too. Thanks, everybody. I've already said all this. I'm gonna shut up now.